Okay, this one here, you're on P5, okay? P5 means practice 5, okay? These are, you're going to use percent, you're going to solve some percent word problems, and you're going to use proportions to do it, because on every problem after the percent, it says the word of, OF, okay? So, example 1, 10% of my paycheck is spent on groceries. If I spend $300 of my paycheck on groceries, how much money is in my paycheck? Okay, so again, what we do with a percent of is we line up our 10% and put that over 100%. Now, to solve and that's your percent, this is your actual amount. Now, with percents, we got to know where to put the $300. Sometimes that number is going to go here, sometimes it goes here. This is how you determine where it goes. It says the words is spent on groceries. Okay, so after the 10%, you write is spent on groceries. Whatever I have in bold, that's the top. Okay. And then the bottom is your total every time, the 100%. Now we come over here and we ask ourselves how much money was spent on groceries. Well, we know it's $300, so we're going to put the $300 here and then X here. So then I solve this like a regular proportion. I take 10 times X, which is 10X, and then I take 100 times 300, which is 30,000, okay? Then we got 10 times X, we divide by 10, and that's going to be 3,000, so X equals $3,000. Okay, my next one. 20% of the land in the United States is covered by mountains. If there are 200,000 square miles in the United States, how much is covered by mountains? So again, 20% of means we put 20% over 100%. There's your percent ratio equals. Now, again, this is the percent ratio. This is the actual ratio. So what we need to do is read what it says in bold. It's covered by mountains. So 20% is covered by mountains. And then 100% is a total. Now, how many square miles are covered by mountains? Well, let's read it. If there are 200,000 square miles in the United States, how much is covered by mountains? So we don't know how much was covered by mountains. We don't know that. We don't have a number that was covered by mountains. So X now goes here, okay? And then 200,000, therefore, must be the total I'm going to use. So if we don't know this, okay, if we don't have a number to put in for that trait, covered by mountains, we put X there. So 100 times X is 100X. And then I multiply 20 times 200,000. Okay, and that's going to be 4 million. And we just divide by our 100. And it's going to be 40,000. So how much is covered by mountains? 40,000 of the 200,000 is covered by mountains. Okay, 45% of the trolls in the magic forest. So as you can see, you don't put the X just on bottom or top every time. You got to do your best to read, and if you don't know what goes there, you put X. Okay, 45% of the trolls in the magic forest had happy faces. If there are 500 trolls in the magic forest, how many had happy faces? Okay. So again, 45% over 100%. Okay, now again, you have to label your percent. So the 45% had happy faces. So across from put had happy faces. Why don't you put that here instead of over here? It might help. And this is your total. So how many had happy faces? We don't know because that's what they're asking. So X goes here, 500 goes here. So it's going to be 100X, because you multiply 100 by X, then we take 45 times 500. 22,500 and you divide by 100. You can divide by 100 on your calculator, or you can cross out the zeros and it'd be 225. Okay, I can bench press 200% of my body weight. If I can bench press 500 pounds, what's my body weight? So again, I put my 200%. This time we have a percent higher than 100. That's okay. Okay. And then the top percent is my bench press. I have that in bold for you to label, okay, on the document. This is your total. Okay, how much is my bench press? Well, I know that. It's 500, so don't put X here. You know what goes there because it says it in the problem. 500. X is the total. So 200 times X is 200X. Then we take 500 times 100. 50,000. Then divide by 200. And 500,000 divided by 200 is 2,500. Wait a second, that I did that wrong. Okay. $250. Okay. Okay, so your body weight's 250 pounds. Okay, 40% of the students dressed up for Spirit Day. If 120 is dressed up for Spirit Day, how many students are in school? Okay. So 40%, 100%. Remember, dressed up for Spirit Day is across from the 40. Dressed up for Spirit Day, and then the bottom is my total. So how many dressed up for Spirit Day? Well, we know it's 120. So put 120 here and X here. So 40 will be times by X, it's 40X, and then 100 times 120 is 12,000. Divide by 40, divide by 40, and X equals 300, okay? So you have 300 total. Okay, 60% of the roads need to be reconstructed. If there are 300 roads, how many need to be reconstructed? So you put your 60% over 100%. Okay, and then the top, that represents the amount, the number that need to be reconstructed. And the bottom's your total. Okay, how many roads need to be reconstructed? Well, we don't know that. It just says if there are 300 roads, how many need to be reconstructed? So we don't know how many need to be reconstructed, but we know that then there are 300 total. Okay, 60 or 100 times X is 100X. 60 times 300 is 18,000. Okay, 18,000 divided by 100 is 180. Okay, now pause this video and do 1 through 8, sorry, and then when you're done, you're going to resume it, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do these two, and then you got one problem here, but that problem you won't know how to do unless you resume the video, okay? Okay, anyway. 2 out of 5 students take the ACT test. If 20 students take the ACT test, how many students are in the group? Now, we're going to set this up kind of the same way, but it's not a percent ratio. It's a fraction ratio, so we're going to go 2/5 equals, and now we label, okay? So the top is the amount that take the ACT test. And then this is your total. So how many took the ACT test? Well, we know it's 20. Then X. So 2 times X is 2X. 5 times 20 is going to be 1,000. Okay. I know 5 times 20 is 100. What am I thinking? Then divide by 2, and x equals 50. So 50 students total. Okay, and then I'm going to set up the last one down here. 3 out of every 20 people experience migraine headaches. If I see a group of 150 people, about how many people could I expect to have experienced a migraine headache? Okay, so 3 out of 20, that's your ratio. And then the 3 defines how many experienced a migraine headache. And this is your total. So how many people experience migraine headaches? Just read it. If I see a group of 150 people, about how many people could I expect to have experienced a migraine headache? So they're asking me how many experienced a migraine headache, which means I don't know, so I put X. So then the other number, the 150, has to be my total. Okay? If you know what number goes here, put it. If you don't, you put X and the number goes on the bottom. So as you can see, sometimes if I know that what that is, goes on top, and then but if I don't, it's X and that goes to the bottom. So 20 times X is 20X. And then 3 times 150 is 450. Now divide by 20. You're going to get a decimal here, so you're just going to round it. 22.5. Round that to 23. 23. Because 23 people experienced a migraine headache. We have to have a full number. Okay, that's all I have to say on P5.